At the distant borders of the solar system there is an ice world, a space consisting of asteroids, their debris, and small objects. This is the Kuiper Belt. It expands beyond the orbit of Neptune and looks like a donut, plump and round. It is believed that all the material remaining after the formation of the solar system is concentrated in the belt. The Kuiper Belt has long been of interest to scientists. The first major achievement of modern technology in the study of this cluster was the flight of the Pioneer 10 spacecraft, which was created to study Jupiter. Since then, about a dozen more spacecraft have flown through the Kuiper Belt. Nevertheless, this place is still extremely poorly studied, and therefore, new space missions are expected to be launched in the next decade. For all the time of research in the Kuiper Belt, many amazing objects have been discovered: Sedna, Eris, Makemake, Quasar and many others, but perhaps the most interesting and mysterious among them is the dwarf planet Haumea. It has its own ring system, tail, and even 2 small satellites. The first photographs of Haumea appeared in 2003, at the same time she was given the first name 2003 L61, not even suspecting the existence of these photos. In 2004, just after Christmas, a group of astronomers, led by Mike Brown, discovered a celestial body about the size of Pluto. Astronomers have named the object Santa. A year later, while Mike Brown was preparing a report on the discovery of a celestial body, the same object, according to images of 2003, was studied by another team led by astronomer Jose Luis Artis Moreno, and it turned out that the discovery of the object was wanted by 2 independent groups of astronomers at once. Of course, it didn't come to a fight, although the plot is worthy of a detective novel, you must agree. In general, it all ended with the International Astronomical Union classified it as the 5th largest dwarf planet in the solar system. The object received a new name given to it by the honor of the Hawaiian goddess of fertility and childbirth, Haumea. Even the first scientists noticed that it makes something brighter or dimmer by about 25% every 3 hours, then they reasoned that if it is round, then this is due to its rotation. But according to calculations and our idea of the rotation of planets and celestial bodies, it simply disintegrated would be in part, because 1 revolution in 3 hours is very fast. Most likely Haumea is very elongated, from which it seems to us that it flickers. Haumea is the fastest rotating body in the solar system. The champion just bypassed the closest challenger Jupiter, which takes 9 hours and 50 minutes for 1 revolution around its axis. Most likely, it is the speed that explains its unusual shape. At the equator it is strongly distributed to the sides, so Haumea looks like such a rugby ball. However, it is too early to speak unambiguously about the shape of dwarf planets. Scientists, including due to fast rotation, failed to figure out the inclination of Haumea's axis of rotation in relation to its orbital plane, but it is definitely not round. The orbit around is immoderately elongated. The semi-major axis is 42.98 astronomical units, the maximum distance from Haumea to the Sun is 51.47 astronomical units and the minimum is 34.49 astronomical units. Today, Haumea is moving closer to the star, and the entire period during which it makes a full circle around the star is 281.8 years. At the closest point from the Sun, at perihelion, Haumea will be around 2133. The mass of the object is almost 32% of the mass of Pluto and 24% of Eris. The average diameter, according to the latest data, is 1,491 kilometers. The ratio of the mass and size of Haumea suggests that the average density of this planet is 2.5 times greater than the density of water. And since the outer layers of Haumea are ice, it should be assumed that a rocky core is hidden inside this world. What is Haumea made of? In 2005, a detailed study of the spectrum of the object was carried out using the Keck and Gemini observatory machine. Most of the dwarf planet is covered with the granular structure of water ice. The ice surface has a lot of features that indicate the presence of hydrogen cyanide and kaolinite in it, which belong to phyllosilicate rocks. Well, so we got acquainted with the main parameters and characteristics of the dwarf planet Haumea. Let's now move on to the tastiest. Haumea's biggest secret was discovered in 2009. A color anomaly was found on the surface in the form of a relatively large red spot. This intriguing detail has puzzled scientists. They cannot yet say for sure what this stain consists of and how it appeared. But there are a number of educated guesses. A red spot can be an area rich in certain minerals or organic compounds. Alternatively, this is an area with a high proportion of crystalline ice. The main cover of this world should be old amorphous ice. It is also possible that this is a trace of a collision with another cosmic body. Suddenly this is the imprint from that very colossal blow that betrayed Haumea its distorted shape and such a fast rotation. In this case, the spot can be a mixture of the impactor material and possibly exposed inner layers of the planet. 10 years have passed since the discovery of this spot, but there is still no concrete version of its formation. But soon other amazing features of Haumea were discovered and another star helped in this. When observing it with the help of several European observatories at once, the features of the eclipse of the star made it possible, firstly, to clarify the dimensions of Haumea. It is gaining 2,322 kilometers along the long axis of the ellipsoid, and 1,704 kilometers along the short axis, and this observation also made it possible to make a discovery. Haumea has rings, like Saturn. The width of the rings is 70 kilometers and the radius of 2,287 kilometers. They rotate 3 times slower than the elongated planet. If you believe in the version according to which the fast rotation of the dwarf planet betrayed a collision with some other object, it turns out that this impact left a certain amount of debris in orbit, which folded the ring. The version of the collision is also supported by the discovered satellites that revolve around Haumea. There were only 2 of them. They were discovered shortly after the discovery of Haumea itself, and in 2008 they were given official names in honor of the daughters of the goddess Haumea and Namaka. Haumea, 250 kilometers in diameter, revolves around Haumea in a circular orbit with an orbital period of 49 days. The fainter satellite Namaka, only 110 kilometers in diameter, has an orbital period of 18 days, and its orbit is a pronounced ellipse. When asteroids are similar in composition, moons, rings, and debris tail are called the collision family. Haumea has produced the only known family of collisions in the Kuiper belt, which is why it is so unique. After all, this is a whole system in the solar system. Haumea is certainly the coolest object in the Kuiper belt. Everyone wants to Haumea, say the scientists. But telescopes alone are not enough for further investigation of Haumea. This world is so small that there is only one way to find out its secret: to get to it. We will look forward to new space missions. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the bell under this video.